Hey guys, Rob Tactical Garage here, replacing the rear shocks and then the front shocks on the 1970 VW bus restoration project here. So first gonna take the bottom bolt nut off here. So it's a 19 on the back side here and a 17 here. Let's see if we can get this off. Alright, so that came out pretty, not too bad there. I did have to put some, of course I put some PB Buster on that to help get it out. Now we'll come on around to the other one up here, the top one, and we'll get you up to that one. So we're right up here. And the way this one is the bolt, you have to take out the bolt. The nut's actually on the back side here, but the nut's actually welded to this bracket, so it has to come out, the bolt has to come out. You don't have to hold the, nice thing about it is you don't really have to hold the nut on the back side because it's welded on there. So we'll come out here. There we go. So we're out there. One more thing I wanted to mention is before you install these, you do need to manually activate them. So essentially all you're doing is pushing it all the way down with the rod side, which is underneath the plastic cover here. So you're activating it by pushing it up and down several times. And you're going the full entire stroke of the shock when you're doing that. And you'll feel it when you first start. You'll feel some air pockets in there, and then once it gets smooth, the same consistency up and down, you know you got it. So one thing I forgot to mention there. Alright guys, here's the shocks that I'm putting into the 1970 VW bus. Rear shocks right here. These are the OME style shocks right here. They're not the gas shocks. So the reason I went with these is basically I went with these because I've read some stuff about some of the gas ones that people were using and people just weren't happy with the ride. It seems like people were more happy with the original stock ride, so that's what I decided to go with. These right here are the Brazilian ones. I wanted the German ones, but I couldn't find any of the German ones in stock, so I ended up buying these. That was my preferred. Here's the particular items that there's the, I'll get the, so there's the specific model number if you're looking for that. I'll try to put that down below in the description as well. And we'll get this thing mounted up here and see what it looks like. Thanks. Okay, let's get this thing mounted up here. Get the top. Do the top first. We got the bolt cleaned up here. It's going to go up and through here like so. And get a socket wrench here. Okay, we'll get this thing started here, and then so the torque on these is actually 50 foot-pounds. So we'll get it snugged up here, and then get the bottom in. And then we'll torque it to 50 foot-pounds. I don't want too much, so. Okay. All right, I'll resituate you over here to the bottom one. Okay, we'll get the bottom bolt and nut on here also. Get this through like so. Get the washer and the bolt back on here. And again, these are 50 foot-pounds of what they say from a torque spec. Get that started there. Get this tightened up on the top now a bit. Top there. At least tighten up this a bit and then get the torque wrench. Oops, we're gonna. All right, so I'll grab the torque wrench and we'll get this torque to 50 foot-pounds. Okay, let's get them torqued up now. There we go, we got that one. Let's get the top one now. All right, we'll get the top one torqued there. Here. Right. There. There we go. All right, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Then we will drop it down and see what it looks like and move on to the front. Thanks. Hey guys, Rob Tech Garage here, replacing the shocks on the 1970 VW bus. Pretty straightforward here, but you got two bolts, one on the top here, and then one behind back here, which are probably not on camera right now. We'll get the top one out first. These are a 17 or a 19 millimeter or 3/4 inch. What they are. I think if we put a little air power to it, it should come out pretty decently. This one. Wow, that seems to be in there pretty good. We have to spray some PB blaster on that. Let's see what the back one does here. If the back one's any more friendly. Yeah, the back one came out pretty easily there. So, let's see what we can do here. Okay, the upper shock bolt there was actually spinning free, but the shock, it was spinning free, but it wasn't coming out all the way. So now we're able to get it off there. And let's see what we got. Must be close. There must be a. Hey, I see. I see what we got. It is spinning free there, but there's a. It's spinning in the back also. There's a nut in the back that's spinning. So we'll get a wrench on the back there, and now we should be able to grab a socket. All right, so hopefully that should get us there. Get this this off here. Should just span it off if I can with the air ratchet. No reason to spend any extra energy than I have to. Alright, that should do it. There we go. No reason to spend any more energy than we have to. Alright, so we got the back one there. No, don't want that. Don't lose that. Don't lose that. Okay. So, I'm going to temporarily put it back in there until I get the shock on there so I don't have to wonder what I did with this bolt nut there. Put that on. Alright, so that should be good there. And I'm going to do the same with the other one, the lower one, right here. But just put it back on there too. Alright, I'll do the same to the other side. I'm going to spare doing the other side, but let me get the other shock out and we will get that installed on this side and we should be good. Okay, so I'm working on these front shocks, trying to get the front shocks on, which should be a pretty easy job here. Has become a little more complicated. So what happened is that on the lower shocks on both sides in the front, for the lower shock where it bolts on there, the bushing for the stock right here didn't come off because it's rusted on there and it's seized on there. And you can see that the old shocks here with the rubber there, but the bushing stayed behind. So I've been working on getting those off. So far I've put some PB blaster on there several times, trying to get it to soak in there and bust free the rust. I tried to use some vice grips on it. I put some heat on it. I've done some different things. And the only thing that has got me a little ways there, I finally got the thing to turn, is with a big old pipe wrench on it. So if I can get a big old pipe wrench on it, when I get the pipe wrench on there, I can get it to turn, so it turns a little bit. So it's free now, but it still is not at the point where it wants to come off there. So next up, I'm going to use a cutoff wheel and try to cut the thing down a little bit to get it to weaken in a couple spots and see if I can get it off there. So that's what I'm hoping to do next here, is to put a cutoff wheel on it and try to get some of that cut off there. So that's where we will continue. Oh, it's still loosened. It's loosened up some there, but more to go. Get on the other side here. If I can't move the camera from getting sprayed with shocks there, or sparks rather. Okay, at this point I put 3 cuts into this thing. They're not all the way down there, obviously, so I'm not getting it all the way down there, but it's within a small amount of where the lip is there. So now it's starting to spin off using the pipe wrench here. So it's starting to come off now. So I just keep working it, it'll come off here. Yeah, so if I chisel. Oh yeah, there it is. Alright, so you can see what it looks like there. So I put the 3 cuts in it, and then once I started twisting it, it came off there. But you can see, well, maybe not from this angle, let me see the layer of rust on that thing. So I'm going to get that thing cleaned up before I put the new shock on. And all right, I'm getting this front shock absorber mounted here, and what the service manual tells you to do is to torque the bottom one first before you connect the top one, and they want you to tilt the top of the shock absorber back 30 degrees while you're torquing, and leave it there while it's being torqued, and then push it up and connect the top one. Apparently you don't have to do this if the vehicle's on the ground, but in this case the vehicle's in the air. But if your wheel's on the ground, you don't have to do it this way. So I'm gonna guess at where 30 degrees is here. Let's say right about maybe there. So 30 degrees there, and then we will torque it. The torque specs are, as usual, very precise with VW stuff, seems like, that I've found. It says you torque it 18 to 25 pounds. So you pick where you want in there, or which number you want to do. Okay. And then we'll do the top one. And the top one is precise. It's 36 pounds is the torque specs on the top one. So we'll get it moved back now that we've torqued it. Which is come up just a little bit. There we go. And we got that side there. Well, I'll try to, maybe I'll maneuver you here. Okay. Here we go. So get this back nut on this thing. I should drop the car a little bit, make it easier on myself. All right, so I'll grab something here to get that tightened up a little bit. All right, we'll get this top one torqued to 36 foot-pounds. All right, there we go. All right, shock serves installed. As always, like, subscribe, share. Thanks, guys.